Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel where I try to educate the viewers on technical analysis with stocks and indices on the current market scenario. Now, in this video, I have covered Nifty and what the charts and data suggest going forward. Now, before we look into the charts, let's have a look at the option data of Nifty. Now, for tomorrow's April 7th expiry, we can see out here that the 18,000 put writers did a lot of covering, and so did the 17,900 put writers out here did attempted a lot of covering out here. We can see that in this zone out here and here too. We can see out here there's heavy writing in 17,900 and so 18,000 has was always seeing steady writing. It's continues to rise, and the bigger one at 18,200, 18,100, all the way down. So, but what is most interesting out here is that this 17,000, 18,000 writing that we are seeing, this one on Friday close, the OI of 18,000 was a mere less than 20,000. On Monday's rally, over 1 lakh put writing took place. So that put writing took place at a value of not around 40 to 30, 50 rupees at that level. And that 1 lakh 20 over the last 2 days, that's Tuesday and Wednesday, is now down to approx 50,000. So there are still around 30,000 writing contracts which have taken place on Monday still stuck. So unless they were hedge writers, who must have sold some call or shorted a future to hedge their position, these writers are going to be in for a lot of pain if the levels doesn't move. Similarly, same scene was in 17,900. There was very little writing. Bulk of it came on Monday in the rally, and those are the traders who are writers who are trapped right now in it. Anyway, going forward, we can see out here that the major support in uh, the bank Nifty for the Nifty for tomorrow is at 17,800, and then the bigger one is sitting at 17,600, and the biggest one is 17,500. So this for a one-off day, steady writing out here, steady writing, good writing in 17,700 also if we go to see. So the pressure will only come probably if we start sustaining below 700 towards the downward move. While on the call side, again, this writing is today. So out of 1,30,000, 1 lakh has taken place today in 17,900. If by chance Nifty does a bounce back tomorrow, then these writers are in for trouble. These writers, because they've written it at probably at much lower levels, unless again it's hedged. But it's this one. This is a huge one out here, which won't give up so easily. The 18,000 uh, writing out here, which is strong, which is steady. So tomorrow, more or less, settlement looks below 18,000, while 17,800, 700 is something which we have to look at very carefully. In fact, sustaining below 800 for an hour or so would put pressure here, and the pressure would be all the way downward if that were to happen. Now let's have a look at April 13th expiry, which is a short expiry since we have just 3 days of trading coming up next week because of holidays. Now here too, we can see that the major support is at 17,500. This is the level where the major support is sitting right now, and 17,500 steady writing. And if 17,800 is broken, so 17,800 for next week looks like a level which will be, tomorrow it will be interesting to see how this is managed, because this was decent writing today out here. While on the call side, again, 18,000 is playing a decent amount of OI to start the expiry with And then above that is the bigger one is sitting at 18,500 odd levels of 23,000. So it's 17, 18,000 and 17 is 1,800 is the squeeze for next week's data. And then this particular 18,500 on the upside or 17,500 on the downside. But more or less looks like because it's going to be a very short week, we if 17,800 survives, we could have a narrow range between 17,800 to 18,000 for the full week. But too early to give that call right now to see that. But this is just for data information, what it looks like. Now let's look at 28th April, the monthly data on how it's planning out. Here too, we can see 17,500 is the level, 17,500 already a decent amount of OI built up out here. So strong support at 17,500 as of now, and 18,500 if the 18,000 is taken out. If this level is taken out, then yes, we could see a good surge. So that's 240 premium. So approx these writers are probably going to feel the panic only above 18,200 odd. Otherwise, they won't feel the panic for 18,500 odd levels out here. So data again, end April, long way to go, but data early indications of 17,500, 18,000 and 18,500 right now. This is the level. So this is going to be a main trigger going forward out here. Now let's have a look at the charts on and what are they trying. Let's try to decode what the chart is looking like. Now, this is the weekly chart. Now we've seen a sharp sell-off on Monday, but where interestingly, where did this sharp sell-off come from? It came from this slanting channel. So we have a high out here, the all-time high. Then we have a lower high and probably, if not a lower, another lower high out here or a pause in the move, before it tries to break out. Too early to say whether a lower high has already been confirmed made or is it a pause, a dip and then a turnaround, but definitely a warning because it's taken place at the trend line. Usually the trend line, see, we can see it out here also. When the first lower high was made, that the market went up to the green, closed on a Friday, and then saw immediate a downward move from there. And again here, we are seeing the same thing. Immediate sell-off. Probably this happened on a Monday. This had happened probably towards the end of the week at 18,300. Hence, we see the next week reaction from the trend line out there. So anyway, this one is suggesting that now in the weekly, there if it fails to sustain for the next 2 days above 18,000, 17,875, then it's not good. It needs to do a minimum sustenance above this level, minimum. At least above this. And I don't mean by 15-minute time frame. Ideally, start closing above it, or at least in the hourly, it should sustain above it. Above that, it's resistance at the high made on Monday. That's the resistance. If it takes this out, then we are suggesting to 18,275 to the crucial one at 18,325 as our next resistance out there. But first and foremost is the 875. Failure to hold this is not a good sign. Failure to hold this won't be a good sign at all. Okay. Keep this level very critically in mind for the upside going forward. And supports in in the Nifty on the downside in the weekly is very low. It's near 17,000 odd levels. But before that, we could see a small support coming in at 17,700 below the 800 level. But let's try to decode that in the daily time frame. Now, In the daily time frame, uh, we've done a gap down today. So we've had a series of gap ups, gap up 1, gap up 2, gap up 3, gap up 4. So the first sign of continuation of weakness would be that it tries to push its way down to cover this gap. So that's 17,800 till 17,700. So 700 is the is a scenario where failure to hold this also will not be a good sign. Then that would mean that it's opening for downward levels of 17,500 till if that also doesn't hold. Right now the data is suggesting 17,500, then we're looking at 17,000 also. Now, as a possible pullback from this level. Now, these are mild pullbacks in my view. Like I said, 875 takes out, pushes its way up towards the upper level. Then we sorted out the resistance and all. Supports at 17,700, 17,500, all the way to 17,000. Now, my worry is not this. My worry is a much bigger picture. What I found as an interesting observation, which I want to share with you all here, is that the first pullback which took place of 18,300 happened at an 88% retracement of the first fall, the first leg of the fall. The pullback was an 88% retracement. And again on Monday, we have a similar retracement in place of this fall at exactly that level. So if we go by this nature, then this is quite a serious resistance for us out here in that manner. Now, if we are going to look at it from that angle, and if we have a bigger downside pending, if the correction which took place out here is not over, and this is just a pullback which took place, in the sense that we are looking at probably a setup like this, where we have a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low. And if this is another lower high, if we are looking at it as another lower high, then we cannot rule out in the short to medium term a break of this 17,000 level to the lower side, that this correction would be in its final leg. Now, one particular way to identify if it is going to be that is this structure which is taking place, which has taken place in the past. So if we read what the past says, then we can notice that each part of the first fall. So let me just change the color. Yeah. So each part of the first fall was a very sharp one, very little pullback. Every day a red candle, no pullback, red candles, red candles, red candles, no more green candle, no pullback, minor to negligible, lower highs continuously made out here till, one small one, and then the big bang came out here. That's the first sign. Now look at the second fall, similar, nothing, no pullback at all, just dump after dump after dump out here, dump, 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 one doji, massive dump, then the pullback. So if we see similar structures out here, a similar structure out here with no pullback happening, no pullback, no small even green candles, continuous red selling pressure, then we should be mentally prepared that the downside, again another round of selling is coming. So apart from the levels, we look at 17,500 or 17,000, the structure of the candles, the structure of the fall will give us a good hint of whether it's a big turnaround or whether this is just a pause where we could do a dip, a dip like this, and then try to break on the upside. So very early clue. If the fall is laborious, if the fall is taking a lot of effort, like बहुत समय ले रहा है गिरने में, आराम से गिर रहा है, धीरे धीरे गिर रहा है, और उसमें सेलिंग प्रेशर इतना नहीं आ रहा है, कंटिन्यूस सपोर्ट बन रहा है, पुल बैक्स आ रहे हैं वापस ग्रीन कैंडल्स के, तो हम उसको मानेंगे कि हाँ ये अभी भी स्कोप दिखा रहा है अपसाइड जाने का। बट अगर ऐसे बड़े बड़े कैंडल बनाएगा वापस गिरने वाले, तो थोड़ा ध्यान रखने का, इस लेवल पे थोड़ा चेतावनी, एक फॉलिंग नाइफ को पकड़ने की कोशिश नहीं करने की इस समय, और try to be safe in this fall. So it's very important in trading to save money. Income, profit from trading comes when you get the clarification of the move. We've had a jolly good run. This has been a fantastic run from 15,600 to 18,000 in a matter of just 20 odd trading sessions. Okay. So when such moves occur, you need to also be prepared for corrections, and corrections are always good. Corrections are opportunities to buy. So if there is one, why not take the opportunity to enter and then make money in that sense. So I hope this video is helpful. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And in the end, a disclaimer: this is not a trading advice. Please do your thorough research before taking your final decision on your investments and your trading. So until then, happy trading and safe investing, everyone. Bye bye.